Alright everybody, welcome to Sharks Valley. Sharks Valley with an Venture Innovation Lab. So, who am I? Well, my name is Stanislav Shvets, and I'm the founder of Sharks Valley. But I'm also the founder of Entrepreneurs Valley, a community of entrepreneurs here at Santa Monica College. Sharks Valley is the biggest entrepreneurial event at Santa Monica College. We made it. Who thought of it? Who was thinking about making an entrepreneurial event, a Shark Tank? We made it happen. It's here, it's today, right now. Sharks Valley was made by Entrepreneurs Valley, but we're in collaboration with, as a main collaborator, Venture Innovation Lab, which is made by the Business Club. We're also in collaboration with the Women in Business, the SMC Rotary Club, Business Club, and the Computer Science Club. So we're 5 here today together. Today we're going to have 7 startups. So we're going to have 7 features. And for this second edition of the Sharks Valley, this isn't a normal competition. It's Sharks Valley, all right? We're going to have 3 sharks. Those 3 sharks here today in the room, I think we've never got any highest profile people like that at SMC together in the same room at the same time. We're all here, we're all going to be able to connect with them at the end of the event, whenever you want, talk to them, ask them any questions. I'm going to present them to you. Our first shark, Dan Ado, executive hypergrowth AI startup, venture capitalist pre-seed and seed stages. He invested into 70+ startups. And he's the founder of his own venture capital fund backing AI fintech startups, Bitmarkup. So please give him an applause to Dan Ado. Our second shark, I'm telling you, this is not usual. Tony Giordano, first Amazon best-selling author for his book, The Social Agent. Bravo's $1 million listing, SNBC, Forbes, and Bloomberg. Top 100 leader, and ranked 6th global in real estate with 1 million followers on Instagram, and he sold over $6 billion in real estate over 22 countries. Please give him an applause. Tony Giordano. And finally, Lyon Kassab. He was here on the first edition of the Sharks Valley already, coming back to us. 3 decades of global executive experience, shaping IPO of Herbalife acquisition of FreshDirect, each deal over $100 million. The UAE government hired him for 5-year strategy for one of their national companies. And he's also the founder of his own venture capital, BoCG Ventures, developing deals from scratch to over $7 billion. Please give him an applause. Lyon Kassab. So as I said, this isn't the usual event you're going to see on campus. This isn't a usual entrepreneurial event. Sharks Valley has sponsors. Yes, we do. We have Poppy, free drinks after the event. You can take them out. We have Domino's, free pizzas. You can take them out after the event. We have Dr. Coffee, also a coffee shop, who give us free coffees. And finally, Rocket Group. This is marketing agency, and they're giving us prizes, $1,000 for each winner of this event. So we're gonna have 3 winners, which means $3,000 in prizes. Of course, the judges, anytime they can collaborate with the startups, they can anytime say, I'll invest $100,000. They can say that. It's up to them. So this is Sharks Valley with Venture Innovation Lab. Enjoy the show. Thank you.
Hello everybody, I'm Benjamin Silvers, the founder of Multras, the price transparency marketplace for local services. Here's a quick demo shot of my live product. Alright, so the problem that Multras is solving today is basically for local services, local services prices are hidden behind quote forms and dispersed pricing on websites. You come to our software where the prices have been aggregated and you can see the hourly services provided by the listed business and accurate estimates. The solution product. This is Multras, and basically we're turning fragmented local service prices, right? You have to go to multiple websites to find hourly prices or fill out a quote form to get an estimated quote, or you have to call and once again get an estimated quote. But there's easily enough data available where you can get this estimate before having to make a call or fill out a quote. Right here, you can see we have the listed available hours, right, of the different services, and when you actually click on one of these business cards, you get to see the additional services like $180 packing fee, and you get to see the hourly breakdown as well. So basically, the technology, I just described it a little bit, but I have a price aggregating software that basically we go onto the website's page, and we're able to take their prices, right, and aggregate it like this, getting accurate breakdowns and accurate estimates. And the market is already moving towards this direction. So Google, for example, right, when you go and search up movers on Google, right, you can send a quote to 4 of them at a time. So they've already realized that people want more. They want more accuracy, they want more options. And on Thumbtack, a major competitor, they already started showing more prices. However, they're limited by their business model. They can't show truly all the prices in the same way my business is aiming to. Why is this? Existing platforms are they're constricted basically by. Sorry, my image just disappeared there. But basically, so. My competitors, Yelp, Thumbtack, and Google, for example, they're all lead-based and discoverability-based. So they cannot show all the prices as it will create competition. And like here's an example of Angie, one of our competitors. I cannot even view any pros, any prices without giving them my personal information and waiting on a response. And Multras, transparent pricing, quote-free UX, lead fees, none. Market opportunity. Basically, it is also far beyond moving. I'm just starting with moving currently. However, there's lots of local services with this sparse pricing, all the way from moving to Pilates gyms, to car detailing, to nail salons. And there is obviously a huge market here with competitors like Thumbtack, Yelp, and Angie. The vision future. I want to have a software that can recommend the best local services based on giving you accurate prices that are listed on the website, accurate estimates, and including review sentiment. Review sentiment quickly is basically, let's say your girlfriend wants to go to a Pilates gym, right? And she wants to go to a more relaxed social Pilates gym. Well, our system will go through the reviews and it'll see, okay, this Pilates gym is more relaxed and social, or this Pilates gym is more intense and really more for working out. And basically with review sentiment, we can hyper recommend the best business per person locally. And the eventual goal is nationwide coverage with many different service types. The profits monetization, I will not charge everyday people like us to go on my service. It will just be charging to businesses through subscriptions laid out first, where we give businesses market insight and give them free ad credits, and eventually we'll roll out ads to more businesses. And further down the line, we can have an API where we give pricing intelligence to other services. The ask. I'm asking for $30,000 for 3%. $12,000 to $15,000 for an engineer, another software engineer, $5,000 to increase data acquisition, and for growth and distribution, such as marketing, $10,000 to $13,000. I hope to expand nationwide pricing for moving services all across the country and see what the user acquisition is for businesses. See how much it costs to acquire businesses. Thank you. I'm now open to answering any questions.
Good job. What was your first name again? Sorry.
Benjamin.
Benjamin. Good,
Yeah.
good job. Couple questions. I loved how you started your presentation with solving the problem. We know that that's one of the key elements in a startup is are you solving something? My question for you is what is the software that you've created to be able to aggregate the prices versus being able to go in Claude, OpenClaw, ChatGPT, and ask them to run a price variance compared to these companies?
Okay, so you could ask that to Claude or ChatGPT, but it's not going to be a hyper personalized answer with really like accurate data. Like they'll just give you a basic estimate, right? And they may give you like a short breakdown of the pricing, right? And they may show you 2 or 3 businesses. But if you go on my site, right, it's just going to be more detailed, right? Basically, we'll eventually be able to have hyper accurate estimates, right? We're going to collect quotes from users, receipts from users, businesses will give us estimates when they claim their profile. And with the API eventually, these LLMs should actually want to buy our data from us, use our API to give everyday people more accurate answers.
So is this that you're pulling all this data manually, or you have a
No.
software that's automatically doing it? And is it patented? Is it yours?
I created my own scraper bot, right, or aggregator. It's totally legal to go on public websites and take their available pricing information so long as it's not hidden behind like a login. However, for like automating quote requests, for example, you're legally not allowed to create a bot that goes and fills out a quote form and then parse like your email for the response. So the solution to that would be overseas talent, right? And they can fill it out, and then it's totally legal to get the pricing. And eventually, that won't even really be an issue when we have more users. They'll submit their own like receipts, and when businesses claim their profile, they can also give us more accurate pricing information.
Perfect, thank you.
Benjamin, great job with the presentation. I'll echo what Tony said about starting with the problem. It's real. Also from kind of the let's call it standard VC perspective, certainly the market that you're going after is big enough to not have to worry about TAM, and it's just a question of how you win, right? One of the things that I'm thinking about after your presentation, and I think it's true, is that Angie or any equivalent basically requires me to put in contact information, right, in order to see price quotes. One of the reasons why they do that, though, is because ultimately that information is shared with the small business, whether that's a mover or a plumber or a dentist or whatever, so that small business can follow up with me, right? If you're not collecting that information, what are the businesses really paying for, right? Because like they're showing their cards on pricing, but they're not necessarily getting anything back.
That is the main difference between like my software's like profit monetization model and theirs. They're lead based. We're like an open marketplace, so we'll be ad based and subscription based, right? So these businesses will pay subscription, right? They'll have like verified pricing, or they can give coupons to people, and also we can give a market insight with the subscription in your area. You're based 10%, you're priced 10% above average, and also we'll give free ad credit on the subscription, and then eventually they may want to get more ad credit, so they're ranked higher, right? Or they're recommended more in their area, and that's basically how. So those other businesses, Angie, Thumbtack, they're taking your personal information, they're selling it as a lead, right? And we are, instead of taking your personal information, we're boosting these softwares instead. So that's our monetization.
Got it. So then the second one, and it's admittedly called the other side of the platform. I think it's interesting, and I'll just harp on the goal on the top right of the slide here, that you're thinking about expanding kind of the pricing coverage to nationwide already, because the other thing that I'll identify as like the crucial thing for your business is how do you get eyeballs on the website and users on the platform initially, which usually starts with hyper specificity, both in a category but also in a given geography, so that you really are the best place to find a mover in LA or something like that. Yeah. So like, how do you think about that?
Oh yeah. So actually, currently, even though this is the goal, I only focus on California and really LA. If you open up like my software, I have a QR code quickly. I want to scan. If you open up my software, my best price data is currently in LA. We have around over 200 moving businesses in the LA County, and in California, it's around about over 1,000. And sorry, your main point was hyper focusing. Oh yeah, and how we'll get eyeballs. So I actually have a pretty advanced like SEO system on the back end where our pages are dynamically like rendered. So like let's say like you search up like movers, prices, Bakersfield, right? One our page, right? It's just I released about a month ago, so not all the pages are indexed yet. I don't know if you know the technical jargon, right? But they're not indexed yet. But soon as they get better pricing, they'll be indexed, and as people look it up, it should hopefully appear. And that's one way we'll get more eyeballs on it.
You feel?
How do I feel? I feel good.
You did a good job, so good for you. And I enjoyed your presentation. So, real
Thank
quick, you have $1 million valuation. What's it based on?
So I'm basing this a little bit off the Y Combinator's like incubator program, where if you get in, they value it right about 1.7 to 1.8 million dollars. And also part of the reason I'm value basing this because if I give too much equity early on, it's gonna be hard to raise in the future with other people who want to like invest more.
Did you do a forecast, a pro forma or something?
Sorry.
Pro forma and forecast, did you look out 3 years, 5 years into the future and figure out what revenues are?
I mean, I could throw out random numbers, right?
That would be bad.
That would be bad, yeah. I mean, there's no, I mean, it's really hard to know how much a business will spend on ads, whether it's $50, $100, $200, right? With a subscription of $20, right? Which I think we could get a lot of businesses subscribed for, right? And I think in 6 months, get 1,000 businesses. That could put us at $20,000 a month, right? Maybe the subscription would be better, maybe even a higher tier at $49.99 when you get 500 of them, right? So it's hard to say, but I mean long term with nationwide coverage, there's about 100 service types we can put on here, right? You're talking 2 million businesses around.
I'm interested in execution. I'm an execution guy, right? So
Yeah.
ideas, people can have them. We all have them.
Yeah.
I've had 3 walking in here, right? How do you take yours, which is a great
Yeah.
idea, it's something that
Yeah.
you've identified the problem. How do you make that into something executable? And how do you get to $1 million? Because you're giving up 3%,
Yeah.
30,000 for
Yeah.
30,000. You gotta tell me how you get to that. Now, if you haven't,
Yeah.
that's probably your home.
Okay. If I were to give you a quick little answer, the way it'll get to that is with more expansion, more businesses, more users coming to our site. It's a little vague, but that is basically how I'll keep growing and expanding. On my back end, I use AWS, and I have it set up. I can easily add more businesses. Right now I could run my script, and I could add the rest of the country. It'd take maybe 2 days for it all to be added. But I haven't done that yet just because I'm still trying to make sure California and Los Angeles are really tightly put together.
So real quick, just to follow up on him, you would add those businesses without them having to pay for the subscription?
Yeah.
Isn't that a revenue stream that you're?
So yeah, well the thing is it's an open marketplace. So as users come to our site for these businesses will eventually notice, they'll get talked about. We put out like ads, and then these businesses will want to claim their profile, so they're ranked above these other businesses that aren't paying.
Okay, and you've done the foundation, or you're laying the foundation right now, but there's no revenue yet.
Currently, there's no revenue.
Okay.
Any other questions? I really appreciate you guys giving me the time of day and having these insightful questions. Thank you.
So we're gonna move on to the next one. I would like to say one more time, if you could keep the questions to 1 or 2 maximum, because we're running out of time, just to make sure that everybody goes through. Thank you. Faro.
Hi Sharks, my name is Byron, this is Eliana.
And this is Veru.
Built to back your vision.
This is Larry. He's the owner of Larry Lattice. As you can see, he's been very sad lately. He has no customers and he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to use social media, and his technology skills are not very good. Also, he's been so busy mopping the floor and trying to manage very basic business tasks that he has no time to focus on what matters. That's his business. So lately, he's been starting to lose his passion.
I don't know about you, but I feel for Larry. But I also feel for a lot of small businesses out there because they're swamped with these tasks. Well, I mean tasks such as inventory counting, payroll, and more. But now, and they're actually losing the vision of their business.
Since Larry started using Veru, his business completely changed, and now everything got so much easier. Using our API connectors, market analysis, inventory tracking, and so much more, now with just one click, he can access to his full business. He's able to see his revenue, his best-selling items in just one click. Using our Veru tablet that is personalized for his business and is very simple to use for 55 plus business owners, now he's able to do everything he needs.
So this is Larry's user interface. He's logging with his password, and boom, it's all straightforward. He has his revenue. This is his whole dashboard, and Veru right here is actually suggesting for him to post on Instagram. And when we click a button, boom, Veru's done it for Larry. Then Larry's going to scroll over and go down to market analysis, where it's going to show his nearby competitors, and this is actually on Montana Street. And Veru will actually also include certain suggestions where you can take a part of, for certain trends coming up. Now this is his inventory, where Veru will also be really involved and explain, let's say, oh, next week there's a big event going on, you might want to order some more oat milk. And Veru is specifically designed for each and every small business out there. That's what makes it special. So we all know AI is the future. It's going to be a part of everything we do. And just this last year, AI has been really a part of businesses, but not as much as small businesses. And I want to touch upon how a lot of these small businesses, they're using ChatGPT. We've talked to a lot of them, they are. But have they really integrated it? No. But one thing they all did say is that they need a system, and that system's Veru.
We visited over 30 small businesses in the Santa Monica area, and they were all having these issues we thought of. They were running low on inventory when they needed it in special holidays. They did not know how to reach their market or what their specific target audience was, and their social media wasn't very good either. After speaking with a lot of them, we told them about Veru, and 70% of them agreed they would actually use this app and it would be beneficial for them. Just thinking about it, there's 577 small businesses in Santa Monica right now. And expanding in LA County, there's 1.3 million small businesses that could benefit from Veru.
All right, let's talk about competition. So you don't know ChatGPT, Claude, right? Those are, they talk back to you, they're not automated. But then we also have actually companies that are more similar to us, like Honeywell, you guys might have heard of them. But they're specifically designed. And when compared to Veru knows your whole business. It can give you the right idea of it. And these are generic, And the biggest thing is that Veru is reactive. Oh, sorry. Veru is proactive, not reactive, like a lot of these models like Maxwell or Jobber. Our business model is a SaaS company, and we're going to offer a 30-day free trial for these businesses. With our first few months, we're going to start in Santa Monica, really establish strong ties with these business owners, go to networking events, and more.
From months 4 to 8, we're using a referral program within the Santa Monica community where other owners can share their success stories and encourage them to use AI in small businesses.
Ongoing from that, we're going to expand to the more LA County area. We're going to keep our network ties especially tight and just more referrals and establish a well team.
We have 3 different pricing options, core, growth, and partner. Core and growth both offer our basic features. The only difference is growth gives priority support. It has more daily usage, and there's a daily ad creation, so you can do a new ad every day. Partner is specifically built for unique businesses. We're planning to break even by month 7, and after doing research, we concluded that 60% of our trial customers will convert to a paid version.
Our LTV to CAC ratio is 11.5x, and then our annual recurring revenue projected right now is 108,000.
We're asking 30,000 for 8% equity.
This is to get us through our first month trials, our product development, and also just our initial operating costs. Will you help us light this vision for Veru?
And not just for Faro, but for small businesses too. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, we'll just do the thing. Great presentation. Couple questions. What are both of your backgrounds or majors, and why were you so passionate about starting this particular business?
I'm an economics major, and I'm also doing a business minor. I'm very interested in this because I've seen a lot of small businesses around me, within family and friends, and they were struggling with some tasks they did not know how to do very correctly. Most of them, especially the social media part, I think it's something we have very strong, because even if AI is able to like maybe research data or like give you like very simple answers, no one is able to be fully integrated in your business. And this is what Farah does. So I haven't seen something yet that helps you like with ads and like marketing and know your like even competitors nearby. So I think it will be like very beneficial.
And then I'm a business administration major with focus on finance. And so like my mom, she like came to America, you know, when she was like 20 years old with no English, you know, just kind of went right into entrepreneurship. And now, you know, she's, you know, 55 plus, you know, that's the majority of business owners. And when I see, you know, others kind of go catching ahead, especially in America, you know, with social media and actually kind of using a bit of AI, I recognize with my mom, you know, she's kind of falling behind. She needs like hands-on support in her business, right? So I'm actually kind of trying to build this kind of for her. That was kind of my initial kind of passion behind the project.
All right, last question real quick, if you can just sum it up as fast as you can for time, is how does Larry get all his data uploaded into the app, connected to his social media, his revenue streams, his bank accounts, so that it knows his business?
So it would all be through API connectors. You know, that'd be QuickBooks, Shopify, Square, or you know, things like that.
Great presentation, guys. I've done a lot of investing in and around small business tech, especially on the payment side, data side, identity side, etc. My question, based on that experience, actually, would be, I fundamentally agree with the, let's call it underlying thesis that you're coming at it with, around too many signals, too many places, and not enough, let's call it affirmative recommendation. My question is, like the platform that you're building can do a lot. It's inventory tracking, it's social media, it's revenue at a glance, and kind of tear sheet style financial understanding of your business. In customer discovery, what do people really need, and what do they really kind of glom onto? Because SMBs churn, right? And so like you can do 6 things, but it needs to be the one thing that they're really going to buy the platform for, or frankly the other 5 are almost incidental.
So we're actually projecting like a 5% churn rate. And what our plan is, have you heard of like the agile method? You know, it's kind of like the cycle, you know, you focus on what's really important.
Yeah.
We're gonna start, what we found was like the social media, inventory, and what was it? Oh, ads, and payroll, stuff like payroll. That was just a huge one. So we're gonna really just focus on that, put a huge emphasis on that.
Okay.
Because if we focus on too much, you know, it's kind of hard to just really implement that for one business and show what we can solve for them.
Yeah. Yeah, I would guess, especially with the target user profile that you're going after based on the pitch, that socials and ads will be the 2 things that are, let's call it, most foreign, versus, you know, QuickBooks and inventory, and so that would make sense to me.
Yeah, and something that Faro has different from like just asking chat, oh, let me like do this app for me, is that Faro really knows your business. So using like the information he got from your Square, like all of your sales, then he knows, oh, what's your best selling product this week, or what are we like running low on. So based on that, if he sees like, oh, on Tuesdays we're low on sales, maybe it can suggest and like do a reminder like, oh, on Tuesdays do a happy hour, 2 to 4 p.m. and it will create an ad for you like, come this Tuesday to our happy hour. So it really targets what the business needs.
What you're also going to want to do as you roll this out is make sure that you're figuring out what is best on different platforms, whether it's SEO, GEO, AEO, Facebook versus LinkedIn versus whatever, and actually optimize the content you're creating, not just for the business that you're working for, but also for the platform and the discovery method. And that's something that one of the businesses that I work with does, as it's a core business. So neither here nor there, but that's another angle to that point. Thank you.
Leon and Byron, good job. Question is, how do you customize this to 500 different Santa Monica, businesses? They all have different infrastructure. They all have different ways of looking at their business. They're looking at revenue. They're looking at cost. They're trying to figure out margins. They're trying to do all this stuff. How do you provide a one-size-fits-all to 500 customers?
Actually, we're gonna in our first launch, we're as co-founders, we're gonna help them personalize it just for them. Whether it's even just a dashboard for owners, 55 plus, right? We can make it as simple as can be for them. And that's I think where Veru really stands out, especially to its competitors, is that it's specific for their business needs.
Are you giving them a tablet, did you say? Or is it something they upload to the tablet?
So we're estimating about 20% might need tablets, just because they can use it like Apple Computer, Windows, or whatever. But also we are going to offer a tablet, and with that we would it'd be a dedicated Veru device, and we would ask for an $800 deposit, and it costs about $850 to create this tablet.
Okay, and they use that, and they pay you a subscription fee for it. That's how you get to your tablet.
Exactly. I mean, they use the Veru.
$30,000 for 1 month, is that what you said, of operating, runway?
I'd say it's more to, we kind of created like a little pad for us too as well, to allow us to break even by month 6. But initially it's for the MVP. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not huge, I don't have a degree in computer science, anything like that. So, it's definitely the MVP and initial cost.
Sounds ambitious, but good job.
Is Larry an investor?
He is. Check him out on Instagram. Larry's Coffee.
Actual Larry, the actor, he's an investor?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay.
Do you know how long did it take them to do all of this? What would you guess, the sharks? Well, this is what we do at a community college. This is what we do in the clubs. They did this in 2 weeks. All of that. And we're all able to do all of this if you put the commitment. So, amazing to them. Thank you. Quicker.
Does this work? All right, cool. Thanks for putting this together, Stan. Appreciate you. Let's give a round of applause for Stan. Okay. My name is Sam Vidernikov, and I'm the founder of Qikr AI. Before I get started, let me give a brief introduction. So, I graduated from UCSD in computer science in 2019, and then I worked at Verizon for 5 years as a software engineer. And now for the last year and a half, I've been on a startup journey to build the best custom AI system platform for education.
This semester, I enrolled into SMC for 3 reasons. The first reason is I wanted to learn how to grow the company, and I wanted to learn from professionals and experts. The second reason is I wanted to actually firsthand try out the product, see if it's actually providing benefits for students in the classroom. And the third reason is I wanted to talk to professors and teachers and see if they're willing to pilot the program itself. Okay, now let me introduce the team. So for the last 1.5 years, we've been working with 5 different enthusiastic AI engineers, and we've been building a platform that focuses on increasing student engagement, improving mastery rates, and empowering teachers with actionable insights. We built a platform that leverages RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. Essentially what this means is that you upload files, upload URLs, and whenever an assistant is generating a response, it's using that knowledge base to generate that response. So it can provide citations with those relevant chunks from those files and URLs. Now let's talk about some of the problems with generic AI like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude. For the sake of time, I'm only going to go over the top 3, but for the mixed level responses, let's say you're in 7th grade and you're working on a chemistry assignment, and you're asking ChatGPT for help. Basically, it can give you a response that's tailored for undergrad, right? And vice versa. This can lead to the student being confused and being misled. We combat that with prompt engineering. Then there's hallucinations. We've all seen the headlines where ChatGPT is making up answers, making up sources. We combat that with citations. Then it's also going to give the answer right away. In an education setting, teachers don't want that, right? So we provide prompt engineering and a Socratic prompt and instructions that instead of just giving the answer, they try to engage with the student and ask them critical questions. Now let's talk about the market penetration. So we've been around for 1.5 years and we partnered with 3C Media Solutions. They already have been integrated with 160 community colleges, and they've helped us get onboarded into 13 California community colleges, including SMC. And we've been added into 30 courses, and 100 assistants have been created by professors and shared with their students. Now let's talk about some of the features. So we have a deep integration with Canvas. So if you have access to Canvas, you have access to Qikr AI. Essentially, we use Canvas LTI to automatically authenticate you, so you don't have to manage your account, you don't have to manage your password. We're right in the Canvas LMS, and we're right next to the grades and assignments in the left navigation bar. Now let's talk about the teacher view. So when teachers log in, this is their landing page. They see 2 sections, the private section and shared with students. So whenever you create an assistant, it first goes into the private section, and essentially this is where you would test the assistant, and then once you're happy with it, you would share it with your students. And then the share with students, we'll see the student dashboard, and those are the ones that the students can interact with. And you can customize assistants by adding files, adding URLs, customizing the instructions. Now let's go to the bread and butter of the application. This is actually chatting with an assistant. So I'm in an SMC business class, and I'm asking this TA Business 20 assistant about one of the questions. And it essentially provided a response, and it has the inline citations. So it's citing the chapter 11 slides. I can actually click on that link, and then it'll take me to the right slide in the presentation. This is something that ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, they don't do right now. Now this is the student dashboard. So before I show the teacher dashboard with all the shared assistants, so this is what the students will see, plus any kind of shared resources that the instructor wants to share with the class. In this case, the instructor has shared 3 practice quizzes. This is what a practice quiz looks like. These are designed to increase subject mastery, and they leverage Bloom taxonomy. So all a professor would have to do is input a couple of topics, then voila, it creates this kind of practice test in a minute. And then they can share it with the click of a button. So students can prepare for exams, self-assess knowledge gaps. And we also have other AI tools like a flashcard generator, lesson plan generator, assignment generator, etc. Now here is the student insights that we generate and we send at a weekly basis to professors. So based on the conversations and interactions that students are having with these assistants, we identify gaps. and we identify areas where students are struggling, and we notify the teacher. And then essentially we also provide next steps. So a teacher would see this kind of report, and then they could see, okay, the next step is they're struggling with this concept. I can create a lesson plan to cover that topic, or create a practice test so they can help them. Now let's talk about some of the testimonials. So these are testimonials that we've collected for the last year. For the sake of time, I'll just go over the first one. But my top students have been telling me that they love it. This is a professor from SMC that told us that. And essentially, I think this testimonial speaks volumes, and I think it shows that we provide value and we benefit students in the classroom. So our goal for next year is to transform SMC into a flagship school. And with that, I'm proud to announce that my business professor, Eric Sanko, will be piloting the program for 4 of his Intro to Business classes in fall. Now let's talk about the market size projections. So today, it's 2.2 billion. This is K through 12 and higher ed. And in 2030, it's going to increase by 3.4 times to 7.5 billion. So there's a lot of room for growth in the market. Okay, and now Sharks, I would like to request 100,000 for 1% equity of the company. Thank you guys for listening. You guys have any questions or comments?
Great job. So to be honest, not my wheelhouse in the sense of education in schools and things like that. But I did want to give you feedback and ask you a couple questions. But the most of the feedback is great energy. I can tell you're very passionate about this. You're an established business, it sounds like, in the sense of maybe trials, not revenue yet, correct?
Yeah,
You're kind of
exactly.
giving-
That's
all
right. Yeah, that's
So real quick, where are you coming up with the 100K for 1%? I'm just curious before I let them. I'm sure they're a little bit more in their wheelhouse, but.
So yeah, we're still pre-revenue. We have a couple contracts on the table, so we're expected to close by the end of the year. And also, this, based on the market size, it's increasing rapidly, right? Just in like 4 years, it's gonna triple or even more than triple. And also, if you take a look at the landscape, and then there's competitors that are already being very successful in this space. Like, have you heard of Magic School? So Magic School is a company that's valued at 400 million, right? And they started 3 years ago. We started a year and a half, so they were the first to market. So based on some of these competitors, that's where I came up with the valuation.
And then my only advice is you might, when you were saying those other AI platforms don't do what yours does, you might want to look into Claude Cowork, not the basic Claude, but Claude Cowork is doing some pretty incredible things, so it might be something that you can utilize.
Cool, thank you.
Aware of Magic School. The fund that I used to work for invested in Magic School.
Oh wow.
So there you go. Not my deal, not my space.
One of the things that I'm curious about is ultimately, I'm guessing, the go-to-market motion here is you sell effectively to the professor, and then the professor creates the assistants and like uploads the curriculum for their students. Is that right?
So right now it's B2B, so
Yeah.
we're selling to the institution.
Okay.
Yeah, we're selling to schools directly.
Got it. And that means long sales cycles, long procurement, hence the end of year comment you made earlier about the contracts you have outstanding.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it. How do you price it? What's the business model?
So the business model right now, when we're selling to institutions, it's around $50 per student per year. So for a school that has 500 students, it'll be a $20,000 contract. But of course, we're like just starting, right? We're willing to negotiate, and we'll start with the pilot program first, and then once they want to commit, then we'll sign that like annual contract, and those are ballpark numbers.
Got it. Last question. You had testimonials included here. You also had kind of metrics around where you've been deployed. What has the student usage rate of the assistant been? Right? Either number of students using it divided by number of students who have access to it,
Right.
or like DAOs, MAOs, WOWs as percentage of ever used it. Like, what are the usage metrics on the student side?
Right, so one of the bottlenecks that we've actually seen is getting the professors to actually add it into their Canvas course, right? So if a professor is actually enthusiastic about the product, then they advocate it. They're like an ambassador essentially, and then their students start using it. So we've noticed for like a physio class, right, an anatomy class, with the professor actually advocating for it, who gave that testimonial, his students were coming back and using it over and over. He actually used it in fall, and now he used it again in spring, and he's looking to continue using the platform. So yeah. But then there's also, of course, some like drop off. Like if a professor is not enthusiastic about it and just kind of like has it there just sitting and doesn't actually like tell the students to use it, then we notice like a student drop off for sure. So yeah.
Jason,
Hey.
Socratic method, you had it on there.
Yeah.
How does this help with critical thinking?
So instead of giving the answer right away, it's going to ask you a question in return. It'll point you in the right direction, and then it's basically going to guide the students, right? A lot of the times, if you have a problem for homework, right, you ask ChatGPT, it just gives you the answer, right? But in this approach, the Socratic method, it's actually going to lead you. It'll give you tips, and it'll give you some other practice problems and examples rather than just the answer. So that's how that works.
Have you done A/B testing of those who use and those who don't?
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of the testers right now, right?
Okay, so people that are on it fare better.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm using it, and I've talked to my classmates, and they're actually interested in using it as well, right? But then there's that bottleneck where the professors.
The challenge I have with that statement is you are the creator of this, so you are ultimately biased. So you're going to use it all the time because you want to drive up that metric, right? So
Right, as you should.
As you should. But how do you do an A/B test, blind A/B test that says if you use this, kids will become smarter, better equipped to go into the workspace, more critically savvy. I love education. I have a problem with universities because they won't challenge themselves to step outside of their curriculum. That's your major challenge.
Right. Yeah, we definitely want to conduct more A/B testing for sure. But in two of my classes, right, my professor hasn't used it, right, where I'm actually using it, and then the A/B test is like, am I doing better than my classmates, right? I'm using the platform, it's helping me with assignments, helping me study for exams, right, where they don't have that resource. So
You're
yeah.
onto something here. I like it. It's good. I have 4 kids, and one is in college and whatever, and they're constantly on Khan Academy. They're on chat. They do all of this. The challenge they have is their teachers, even when they say AI is included and allowed, they will mark them down for using it. University of Michigan, is my son, and they said, hey, you can use curriculum. So the syllabus says you can use AI. Just source your information.
Mhm.
He gets back his test, and he has 0 out of 15. And he said, well, I did everything, right? So people have an inherent bias against AI, so you have to kind of figure out how to show that it's actually beneficial to the student and the institution. Sorry, next.
To that end, right, what you need is the metrics, right, to show it improves people's grades, it improves classroom engagement, it improves something, because that is how you get, that is how you shortcut the university procurement process.
Right. Yeah, we have metrics and stuff like that, but it's just a 5-minute pitch, right? So I didn't want to like show everything. But yeah, thank you guys for the questions. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for listening.
Let's keep short the questions, and we're gonna move on to Zavli. Again, we're running out of time, but please One question would be perfect. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kyla, the founder and CEO of Solvly. Solvly is an AI-generated educational learning app that combines gamified features, an AI companion that offers personalization and reward coin-based system for ages 6 through 12. Solvly is interactive, rewarding, and genuinely fun. Solvly makes learning feel personal and motivating instead of intimidating. We're building Solvly to increase retention and create a learning experience children actually want to come back to. These are my developers. Owen Szymanski, he was top of my class. He attends University of Florida Honors Program, and Jordan Browders, who attends University of Wollongong, Australia. He works for us as our junior intern, and I recently met him in Japan in my hostel. We have been in talks with students at UCLA, with waitlisted Y Combinator Startup School, talks with and support from the Qikr AI co-founder, meetings with Superset VC, and meetings with Outlaw VC. Kids have unlimited screen time, but learning apps still feel like homework. Old learning apps have passive content, one size fits all, no motivation, and no real visibility. Solvly feels like play, delivers real learning, AI-powered and interactive, personalized for every child, feels like play, real progress that's visible for parents and teachers. Here's a video of my Solvly demo. Why kids engage? So me and my developers created something called our loop. So you talk with a buddy, you play games, you earn rewards, earn streaks, and hit goals to come back every single day, with built-in teacher and parental control. Early traction and validation. So right now we have a 50+ student waitlist, 100+ demo users, and I recently went to a park in DTLA and gathered some testimonials and feedback. 10th graders were saying they come back and feel tired and fatigued, homework is too long, they'd like to be interactive, have gamified features. They use platforms like Google and YouTube. They use ChatGPT, but it just gives them the answers. Also, 4th graders were saying they feel tired and the same thing. Everyone's saying the same thing. We also want to expand into schools and hopefully globally, because Solvly actually can be translated into any language around the world. Solvly is built off of our subscriptions. So instead of 10 chats every hour, we have, and completing tasks to earn coins and limited quests, Solvly Pro highlights unlimited chats, bonus 500 coins a month, more quests, stronger parent insights. You can use those coins to have wallpapers, accessorize your buddy, play mini games, and more. These are our 3 games and our MVP launches next week on App Store and Google Play. How will grow Solvly? So I'm a really passionate founder. So one of my strongest and most important things to me is organic users. With living in the hotspot of the world, I like to have a small team and myself to pitch on places like Hollywood Boulevard, Santa Monica, Pier, and other trendy tourist areas. Gather feedback from parents and get real downloads. hopefully we can get at least 7 subscriptions a day. I want to reach out to influencers with parent and children audiences, which I already have a long PR list, and also, of course, standard ad generation. I'm asking for $20,000 in non-dilutive funding. Right now, I'm focused on proving traction and launching and validating the product before giving equity away too early. The funding would help us market, accelerate development launch, help and have user acquisition and testing before raising a larger equity round. But I'm open to any offer. Okay, yay, that's lovely. So let me know if you're interested in funding the future of education.
Really nice job. Love your energy for sure. I can tell you're definitely very, very passionate about this. Once again, a little out of my wheelhouse, but I'm curious, when I saw that you said 10th graders, so these are teenagers, right? I'm getting this right, okay. 10th graders are coming home fatigued. Is this replacing the fact that they have to go to school and come home fatigued with homework? Or is this somehow being integrated into their homework by a school?
So it can be used in schools for like, I don't know if you have children or if any of you guys know having like a closing, like sometimes you'll do like a 5-minute exit ticket. So it can be used as like a little exit ticket. It can be used in computer lab. I used to use something called iReady, not sure if you guys use that, but it's very similar in a sense to what I'm building, but a lot different also. So I would say it's just for fun to just download if you want, or also integrate it into school. It's a very versatile thing. The reason why I also spoke to 10th graders is because I actually found out with my developers that the API that we're using, Llama, but I want to switch to Gemini, it can actually teach calculus. So aesthetically, it looks like for children, right? But through phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, it can teach calculus, and the AI buddy can actually talk to you based on your age range.
So kind of two things actually which build on that. As a parent, but also as the metaphorical parent of anybody who's going to give this to their kid, right? I am the gatekeeper, right? That basically you need to convince it of me, or I guess the school, right? That means kind of 2 things. One, you need to sell me on the idea that what you are giving my kid is valuable, meaning educational, developmental, whatever it is, right? And 2, that you won't do what Character AI did to some other families and their children. How do you convince me of those 2 things, basically?
I would convince you because it's super personalized, and parents and teachers, whoever use it, can watch every analytic. And they also, if you saw, they can assign the task. So basically the parents can curate a learning experience for the child, but still it feels personalized. And the point of Zobly is to grow up with Zobly. We want long-term users. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, I think I think it's a good, let's call it philosophical answer, right? I think what it needs to be, let's call it reinforced by, right? Is to say, something like do what Love Every does for babies or other brands as they grow up, right? Where it's like, we are using effectively Montessori themed toys and methods, right? And making them accessible, right? And so if you want to call it draft off of something that your audience and your gatekeepers are already like oriented around. That
Sounds so smart. I got you.
Kyla,
I
you nervous?
am nervous. I'm shaking. I don't know if you guys can see. I'm shaking.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
I invested in a company that does something like this for the age group 6 to 16. AAA game needed a little bit more than $20,000. Was added a few zeros to it, quite a few. But here's the question: how much have you invested in this app since you're going live on them with an MVP on the App Store next week?
I've invested $2,500 in my lead developer, and then my junior works for free as an intern. But of course, if I were to get investment, I would use my personal money to start with that organic users at first. So I walk on Hollywood Boulevard literally every single day when I go to school, and actually 50,000 people are on there. And I don't know if you guys have been to New York City and there's like Spider-Man trying to take pictures and stuff like that. It's people passing out CDs. So I want to get like, it's like $25 to get like a permit on Hollywood Boulevard and get one of these with a QR code and literally just grind out there and get users, as many as I can, talk to everyone. And it's about to be World Cup and Olympics, so there's going to be a lot of people out there. So that's kind of my main target goal right now, is to get those organic users once I launch the MVP at first.
Ben's point was right on. This is, you're convincing the parents, and this is probably 5 to 8 is probably your target demo. But here's the question: what was the VC feedback?
They love it. So I actually, Outlaw VC, they reached out to me through LinkedIn, and they're obsessed. Like, everyone's obsessed. Superset, actually, they wanted to bring me on to their ed tech team, and I was like, no, like, I don't want to be an intern. I was like, I'm a founder, I'm doing my own thing. But everyone thinks the idea is incredible, right? But the execution, I'm not too sure exactly what the age rate. I have just hypotheticals right now because I haven't launched. So next week I'll know, and hopefully I can get some subscriptions and revenues immediately. But it's all the idea at the moment. Yay. Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you, amazing. My pet.
Hey guys, I'm definitely not gonna match the same energy from Zobli, but I'll do my best. So, I'm Simeon, and my idea is an app for pet owners that makes their lives way easier. Right now, if you have a pet, a cat, or a dog, doesn't matter. You know how complicated it is to take care of them. It's like pretty much like having a kid. You have to make sure they're healthy, they go for walks, somebody takes care of them while you're not home, that they get groomed, that they get trained, and there's obviously services that provide all of those features right now, but there's not a single app that combines everything in one place. So the pet industry is very big. In 2025, pet owners spent $158 billion on their pets here in the United States, $15.4 billion on grooming, and $1.3 billion on dog walking. And I myself have experience in pet care, so I know that, like, I do dog walking, pet sitting sometimes, and I know that pet owners will spend like pretty much any money on their pets because they really love them, and as long as the pet's happy and healthy, they'll spend pretty much anything. So right now, there's not really any competition that does the exact same thing, but there's apps that like specify in specific areas, like Wag and Rover. They specify like pet care, so they only they offer dog walks, like home sitting while you're gone, and they take a very large percentage for every service. So Rover takes 20-25%, and Wag takes 40% for like a walk or anything, any service. And the biggest issue with those two apps that they have is that the dog walkers, they leave the app because they obviously want to avoid the very high commission, and they just exchange phone numbers with the pet owners. So they start walking off app and making money by doing so. And my solution to that would be implementing like a level system in my app where the dog walkers, the more walks they do, they kind of level up and end up with paying like a 5% commission. And therefore, that's not going to motivate them to leave the app. So the next feature my app is going to have is community-based, where you pretty much set up a profile for your dog, for example, and you get to meet other pet owners in your area and join them for like community walks. Just going to grab a coffee, walking, like meeting the dogs and stuff like that. And the third section would be like marketplace based. So we would offer like grooming, training services through third-party apps, and it would be like way more convenient than it is right now. You get all the companies offering the services in one place, and you see the prices right away, so you have to call nobody up. And we would take a commission obviously for every service. And that's pretty much the whole revenue model for the business. So we would take commissions for all the services like walks, sittings, have a monthly subscription, and then in the future when we implement like a larger marketplace, also maybe partner with some companies to make money off of that. This is like a idea of the app interface. And yeah, in the future, as I said, I would love to have like a Amazon for dogs, with a lot of dog products in the app. Food subscriptions, where the app sort of delivers the food once a month, makes like a dietary plan for your pet, and healthcare options where you can like sign up automatically since the app already has all the information about your pet in one place. So right now I conducted 20 interviews with like pet owners, dog owners in my area, and I talked to them, like I asked them what kind of problems they have with having a dog, what they wish was easier, and later on I told them about my app and asked for their feedback. And what I noticed is that like everybody has their own issues. They're not all the same, but they kind of are like in similar areas. So this is where I come to like my vision. Unfortunately, I can't know what exactly is going to motivate the users to use my app, because maybe they're gonna love the dog walking feature, or maybe they're gonna fall in love with the community walks, building a community in the app. So for now, my main goal is to just build an app where every pet owner thinks, oh, okay, if I have a dog, I need my pet, so I have to use the app. And then afterwards, when I have a large community of pet owners in my app, I'll then be able to build onto that and decide what exactly they're interested in, where the app can make more money from. And I'm asking for $25,000 for 10% of the company. Thank you.
Go first. Get processing a couple questions.
Sure. I guess I'll start with, what's the money for? Because there is a version of this app that is, I'm gonna say, vibe codable in like 10 hours, right? At which point you can show people, you can start getting feedback, you can de-risk a lot of things about this business. And like, as a venture capitalist, what am I doing? I am funding effectively the discovery and de-risking process, right? So it's not clear to me that you actually need 25 grand or all that much money at all to actually do a lot of de-risking.
Okay, yeah, I don't even know what to say. Like, thank you for your feedback. Initially, I was planning to use the money, to build like an MVP and get some users on the app. I would like have a promotion, obviously, maybe like if you sign up for a monthly subscription, you get a free dog walk, and I would be doing those walks for free. Just getting some users on the app, find some dog walkers, just start building a community, and then see where that goes.
I guess my question would then, to follow up that, because I was curious of the same thing, do you have an idea of what your price tiers are for monthly subscriptions, services?
Well, yeah, nothing exact. I don't want to say nothing that's not gonna make any sense, like come up with something on the spot, but my idea would be like a subscription for like food delivery, like discounts, because if I'm gonna partner with like companies, I'm gonna be able to provide, like they're gonna pay for the promotion, like to be on the app, and then I'll be able to offer discounts, or like a free dog walk every month. Sometimes you have an event you have to go, and then you can just use the app for like a free dog walk.
Thank you.
Simeon, what's your value proposition? It's kind of what they're asking.
Could you explain the question a little bit?
Value proposition, what value are you providing your customer?
I'm providing my customers the convenience, and like with the community, they get to, build stronger connections. Like the app pretty much gives them full control over their pet, and anything they need, there's one place to go. That's my pet, the app.
Scale. Let's say you have 50 different pets. You keep saying dogs. Let's say I'm a cat owner. And how do you scale? 50 different people, and it's only you.
Like for the dog walk part, or for the product
Whatever
part?
your value proposition is, because that's, I think, what everybody's struggling with. What is the service, the value that you're providing with your app, and how do you scale it so that Ben can give you all the money that he has in his back pocket and make a return, which is his value proposition?
So I would I know a couple other dog walkers, so I could have them help me use the app. Like one idea I was sort of thinking of, I don't want to say nothing certain, but I was thinking about partnering with large building complexes and sort of working as a third party as their for now pet care, like dog walking and pet sitting, and then the people that live in the residence building, they could go to sometimes they have an app where they get to control their rent, everything, and then built in a dog feature, because a lot of people here, and I'll focus in LA right now obviously, but a lot of people have dogs, pets, so I would work with building complexes, and they would book the services through the building company. Thank you.
Yeah, as you can see in the pamphlets, this is probably going to be the outlier of his pitching. It's not a SaaS, it's more of a civil engineering infrastructure project. So, yeah, please feel free to look at the details, let me know what you think about it. Right.
What do you think of the event right now? How's it going?
Can everyone hear me? Yeah. Great. My name is Alner. I am one of the co-founders of Re-Lev, a retrofittable magnetic levitation solution. I just wanted to apologize on behalf of my teammates who are currently abroad, so are not going to be able to participate, so this is going to be a solo pitch. All right. Hello, everyone. We're Re-Lev. So imagine this. You're a business, and this is your retail inventory. And you need freight fast, from port to you. Everyone does. The global and the US freight, the freight in the US moves on a massive scale. Of that, 1.5 billion tons of US freight are delivered by train all year around. And out of that, 15% of all US goods are traveled through this one little tiny corridor called the Alameda Corridor, which spans about 20 miles. This is how it currently looks like. The US freight volumes are projected to grow 30% by 2050. And this is a problem because it's getting at its near capacity. The rise of demand, the demand is rising, and the capacity is not there. So that's a problem. So imagine a world where we could deliver freight faster, cheaper, and quieter. Re-Lev retrofits existing rail corridors, allowing us to use maglev technology to retrofit the Alameda Corridor. And you might be asking, why maglev? Doesn't that already exist? Yeah, but the thing about maglev is the current existing technology for maglev is based on the 1970s design, which is on an operational level of 1 to 1.5 inch gaps between the rail and the train itself. Ours uses a new proprietary technology called the hollowback arrays, which allows us to use and expand it all the way to 2.5 inch, which means we are going to be able to use it for freight, because freight is usually heavier than passenger trains. And the validation is there. The Japanese trains have recently developed their own maglev freight back in March, but they are using existing trains and retrofitting them from the passenger trains to freight, which means that their capacity would be at 17 tons, while ours would allow us to increase all the way to 34 tons. And the best part, we secured an exclusive right patent, IP, to develop this, which means that we're the only company in the world who are allowed to use hollowback magnetic arrays to develop the retrofittable maglev. And the market speaks for itself, with the global rail infrastructure being valued at $700 billion, and the initial retrofit development at $2 billion. And with the current oil and resource prices in mind, we have to look for a better alternative. Think about it. Average diesel train that passes through the Alameda corridor goes on average 40 miles per hour, making roughly 5.8 million deliveries per year. What do you think would be the median price for diesel back in 2025? It was $3.5. What are we looking at for 2026? It increased all the way to 5.8. And that is a 58% increase. And that's just getting the current minimum, with some speculating the price to rise all the way up to 7 to 8 by the end of this year alone. While Re-Lev, we would be able to increase our speed efficiency by 50%, allowing us to make deliveries of anywhere between 8.7 to 9 million containers per year. In that case, you might be asking, what's the revenue for Re-Lev looking like? Well, our projections show anywhere between $185 to $255 million in annual recurring revenue for the Alameda corridor if we put Re-Lev and increase our throughput by 20 to 50%. And that's not even considering on the benefits of using electric motors compared to diesel. Our current roadmap looks like this. We've already secured our exclusive patent right agreements, and now we are seeking to look for funding to develop our prototype tests. And this is probably one of our important pages. This is the current people and the people we've talked with who support our project and who are willing to have talks with us about how to further develop this. Most notably, we recently had a conversation with Eric Rossetti, who wants to put this into his own incubator at the Port of LA. As well as we talked with the CEO of Port of Long Beach, who operates with Alameda Corridor. And most importantly, we've also had the pleasure to talk with Hoxha Mashakit, the Secretary of Transportation for California, who wants this to be seen in real life. And that's not where our success stops. This project has brought us all the way from having our project participate at the LA 28 Hackathon, being the finalist, and then joining a civil engineering incubator called the DOS Incubator. From there, we went and participated in the Innovate LA pitch competition, securing ourselves second place, allowing us to receive a $10,000 grant. And most recently, we've had a private office time at Dr. Noel Hasegawa's office at the Port of Long Beach. This is what I'm asking from you. I am seeking for investors. I am seeking for partnerships. I'm seeking for contacts. Anyone who would be interested to provide and who would want to expand the rail future with us. Our vision is that we see this being deployed globally, and we see this being the prominent technology on how your deliveries are going to be delivered. We are Re-Lev. Thank you.
Great job. I know we only have time for one question each now. So, you showed some of the people you've pitched in front of Ron with his own VC company.
Yes, so Ron.
My question, real quick, is just simply, who have you pitched this to, and have you raised any equity? And if not, what was their reasons?
Well, this project has been with us only for a few months by now, and this was a incubator-based project which we were developing with USC, and we've currently pitched to Ron Lackman, who is the founder of Lackman Goldman Ventures, who's trying to be our first investor. And not only that, we also have a big list of current interested VCs who we've already talked with in multiple events, as well as during private times with them. So most importantly, I would say Swell Capital was someone that was very interested with us. And in terms of governmental level scales, we just recently talked with Dr. Noel Hasigaba, who wants us to be connected with the administrative board at the Alameda Corridor. So we're trying to develop that with them right now.
Really interesting presentation. I actually don't have a question for you because it's so far from my area of expertise, but I'm going to use, I don't know, let's call it 45 seconds here for pitch feedback. It certainly is relevant for you and maybe for all the other entrepreneurs in the room. You got to apologize for the fact that your teammates aren't here to join you for the pitch. Don't ever apologize at the beginning of the pitch.
Got it.
Like, you're here, you're pitching, that's the point of the event. You have to own it. It will be uncomfortable. There's just no way around that, right? That's important to remember. Second, and this is especially relevant for Re-Lev, reading the room and understanding your audience when pitching is really important. And so what you would have seen, and you were probably walking up to the stage and some didn't see it, but after you hit out the flyers, like we all had a little thing together. It was like, oh my God, this is magnetic trains. This is really cool, right? And so instantly, and no disrespect to the other founders in the room, right? Like what you're doing is different and therefore interesting. You've got people hooked when you're pitching this idea. So you don't have to sell, frankly, the cost savings. You don't have to sell a lot of the things that are actually in this deck. The two questions, and really the only two questions that have to be answered here are, why should I take you and your team seriously that you can actually operationalize what is ultimately like a real hardware infrastructure play? And two, once I believe that you can do it, how far away are we from doing it? Those are the only questions you have to answer.
So this is a great question because our backgrounds for me and my team members are pretty much exactly what this company would require. We have backgrounds in the diplomatic field as well as civil engineering and electrical engineering as well. So this initial idea came to us during our LA28 hackathon, where we were developing a infrastructure project to save and help decongestion for LA28. Yeah, and after that, we've talked and we've received multiple feedbacks through different universities, as well as our advisors who are supporting us. And right now, we're at a stage where we are seeking for a warehouse to be acquired. We're currently ongoing with a deal where we're trying to secure a warehouse to further develop this project.
This is my kind of investment. I'm an infrastructure guy. I like things above $200 million. This might be much more than that.
Thank you.
Right? So what Ben's talking about makes perfect sense. However, this is the wrong format for this conversation because I have question after question after question after question. The first one is, who's the team? I don't see any civil engineers on here that can do this. Maybe you have the expertise of the idea, but you need I was going to use a bad word, but I won't in an educational location. You need a lot of smart, experienced people to do this. It's a fantastic, fantastic project, and it's going to take a lot of capital, and we can take it offline if you want to have a conversation.
More than likely to, yeah. Thank you so much. All right, thank you everyone.
I'd definitely be interested on the silent side to be an investor.
Wow, that was amazing. Congrats, honestly. Are you thinking of any investments maybe?
This is what investors really do, by the way, in our firm. That we all just like fucking shit each other. It's just like we're all just constantly having all kinds of conversations. Yeah. Those only happen.
So we're gonna have our last pitch of today, the last startup, Veru, is coming.
So AI right now can write something that looks like an academic paper, but like the problem is it will invent evidence too. And this is Veru, an AI-powered academic writing tool that you can trust, and no more AI hallucinating. Write simply, submit professionally, and verify automatically. Quickly, who's building this? I'm the founder, Peter, and this is my co-founder, Sam. And here's how we started this idea. A couple months ago, I was writing a research paper with some literature review stuff, and I was using AI assistant. However, the writing is good and the format is good, but when I was manually checking the citations, half of them are wrong, or like even completely fabricated. And I went to the website, I went to Google, and then I didn't find any tool to verify any sources. And this is the moment when I found a problem. The issue is not just AI hallucinating, but also the issue is the tools are too separated, so we don't have any integrated environment. And this is how students and researchers right now write their papers. They use different tools like Overleaf for latex and drafting, ChatGPT for AI, and Zotero for citation managing, and probably Google Scholar to search your references. That leads to 5 different tabs, copy and paste their text between them, and there's none of those tools knows what the paper is about, what's the idea is about. And the AI fused together to just fabricate everything. This is our product. Veru is one environment with 3 different promises. On the left-hand side, that's a markdown-like writing that the user is going to be writing in. On the right-hand side, that's the submission-ready latex export, also a PDF version that you can submit to all the conference and journal. And in the middle, that's the verification of your citations and text. And while you're writing it, it's not afterwards. Our website right now, we have the Veru check the citation verification live right now. And the DSL to PDF export is working, and the integrated text editor is alpha. These 3 dashboards are real numbers. We have our website up. The Google Search Console shows over the last 90 days, we received 148 organic clicks with 1.66K of impressions and an 8.9% of click-through rate. Our website received 525 unique visitors over the last 30 days and up 108% month over month. Google AI Studio shows the verification API traffic with a peak rate of 330 requests per day.
All right, so we ran multiple stage interviews across 4 segments.
There are undergrad peoples, there are grad students, there are researchers, there's TAs, professors, and each stages of people, they need a different type of workflow, right? For undergrads, it's citation. For grad students, it's latex friction, source management. For researchers, it's collaboration. For professors, it's citation reliability and integrity at scale. So what this tells us is that we can start with individuals and it can scale to institution level and research lab level where multiple people will collaborate. And this is a problem. People, what they do is they open multiple tabs in their browser, they write in Google Doc, they format it on LaTeX, they check on Grammarly or ChatGPT, and Veru solves that problem. It sits in the middle, and it gives you everything. You can write, you can check and verify the sources, and you can prepare your document that you can submit directly. So it's like the full orchestration workflow in a single platform. You don't have to jump between multiple pages. And this is how our revenue model would look like. We definitely start with a free local for people who just need simple writing. They use the free model. For Pro, we have Cloud Sync, AI Writing Assistant, Advanced Verification. If we are going to team and labs, they need collaboration, version history among multiple people. And for institution, it's going to be between writing centers, departments, and academic programs that implements SSO and integrated reporting stuff. And this is our ask. We are asking $50,000 for 5% equity, and this is what we're looking for. What this buys is 6 months product plus API runway. We're going to integrate the alpha with verification. We're going to get the 50 to 100 beta users onboarded, one paid feature test, and first lab and writing center pilot. And this is where the money is going. Of course, on the first month, we are looking to burn $5,000. I mean, most of our money will go in compute power because we need lots of resources. We need multiple virtual machines running on the cloud. We need a lot of compute power and AI agents to do that. So first month, we are looking at implementing the right CTA. The second month, we are implementing the editor alpha. The third month, it's going to be citation verification. The fourth month, it's going to be the actual users. And by the end of 6 months, we are planning to have our first pilot conversation plus actual users. Pro plan will start from $10 per month, and it's going to be a variable cost around $1.24 per month per user. And we are looking at 88% of cross margin. And yeah, this is, we know, as everyone knows that writing is becoming AI assisted by default, but if you're writing with AI, you need trust, you need verification, you need sources. Veru solves the problem, it will stay with you, and it's gonna cite the sources for you so you can confidently submit your papers. That's it, thank you.
Good job, thank you for the information. There was a lot of information on each slide. My main question is, you know, I'm a big AI user, especially with Claude Code, it's like my life. And I'm just wondering, how, protected are you, or what are you doing to copyright or patent what you're doing here from one of the big AI platforms? It's just their next step next week of integrating one of these features inside an already established with plenty of funding behind them to just kind of take it.
So yeah. I mean, this is not a replacement of, let's say, Cloud Code or Codex or something. It's actually help with the AIs. So right now, I'm literally using AI to write some of the papers right now as a help. I use Cloud Code, but I find out that they knows nothing about. They don't understand what's my idea, what I'm writing about, because I have to manually go to Google Scholar search for reference and also use different tools for different stuff. And they don't understand what am I doing. And also, we kind of have a technical barrier that protects us. So, we developed a DSL. I go back to slide 4. Yeah, and that I have a DUI on this achieved here. So, as we spent nearly 2 years developing that DSL, and that DSL has their own syntax and also semantic that's natively friendly to AI. So we'll be able to understand, let's say, this is a literature review, and this is your references. and that's the conclusion that came out. So I would say that's what we have, like apart from existing AI writing tools.
I think the biggest question that I've got, right, is, what was the first one? Like the tangible one would be how you get users and how you ultimately sign up for it. I'm curious about that. I think the answer is going to be by proving that we're better, right? So whether it's benchmarks or accuracy or whatever it is, like, why are you better than either, you know, in an LLM, which sure, they hallucinate, there are weaknesses, whatever, but they're still what people are used to using. So how do you get people to switch?
Okay, so yeah, this is a very good question. So a couple of days ago, I was writing my machine learning paper, like I'm working on an orchestration agent and I'm writing a paper on it. And the problem with ChatGPT and Claude is when you will write something through them, and if you tell those AI models to cite the sources, 99% of the times the sources are fabricated. There's like page mismatches. The names are not as accurate as of official sources. You know what I mean? Like the sources are not cited properly. You will like, okay, ChatGPT gave me this source. Let's go on the internet, search for it, and what you will say is it's completely different. It is that like very few times it will get correct if the site is like very easily accessible, the sources, like Wikipedia or something. But in most cases, it gets it wrong. What we do is we are not trying to be better than ChatGPT or Claude or everything. We are putting our own model behind the scenes. We are training it consistently. That's where our compute power would go mostly. And we are trying to refine and tune our model so that it can exactly go deeper into the internet and scrape the exact thing that people need.
And we've actually done a benchmark test with 100 real like manually verified citations, and just talking to our tools right now since it's already live, and then we received 98 wrong citations that's detached. So within those 100, there are real, there are like completely fake citations. There are also like with the correct literature but like wrong explanations. And we got the result is like 98% that is accurate. And for marketing, like we are thinking about just go to those institutions and research organizations and also sponsor some like conference and journals.
Howdy, Peter and Sam. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good, good. It was a good presentation. So it seems to me the main value proposition thing that you're trying to solve is sourcing, right? Everything else, Claude, ChatGPT can do better than what you can, right? So why not just focus on that and say, this is what we do?
Well, actually, yeah, that's the core. The sources is the core point. The whole orchestration is just for like, I mean, as I said, that people jump between multiple tools right now, like ChatGPT for writing, and then formatting on Overly for latex, and then finding the sources somewhere else. Finding the sources is the core thing, and that's where we are training the model to be, like the webhook and the scraping model. That's where we are training it, so that it can get the exact source. That's the core. But chances are pretty less that people will only use a tool that's like giving you sources, you know, because you are doing the same thing, like you are going from Google Docs to everything. So that's why it's like the whole orchestration platform. You write here, you check sources, you get AI feedbacks on your writing from like ChatGPT and Claude, and you get the exact same latex that you want that you can submit to the to wherever you want. So it's like a complete package of your writing journey.
Got it, Sam. So Clayton Christensen's innovation theory, disruptive innovation is simpler, faster, better, right? That's what you're trying to sell me on here.
Exactly.
Focus on that. Don't tell me about latex and all that stuff. I'm not going to change my behavior based on what you're telling me. I'm going to do something that makes it simpler for me, right? That's what you need to be selling to me. Right. Okay? Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for your feedback. I really appreciate all of your time, Sam. Thank you, everyone.
So those were the 7 startups, the 7 features. We're now gonna discuss, in secret I would say, with the 3 sharks. They're gonna give us out their reviews, their feedbacks about about the 7 startups that were here. They're gonna give us the ratings. So on their paper, the sheets right now that they have, they put a 1 to 10 rating for each startup, and we're gonna rank them. We're gonna do the average, and we're gonna see who are gonna be the 3 final winners. You guys can stay here in this room because we're gonna, I would say it's gonna take probably 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes. And then after, of course, connect to anybody if we want. And outside we have the popular drinks, the pizzas, Domino's, and the coffee. Thank you, everybody.
We'll put it in a comment for the next time. Together, please. Thank you so much. 1, 2, 3. One more, please. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Appreciate you. Right there is perfect, guys. 1, 2, 3. Can we get in a little closer together, please? 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
very comfortable in this source because that's what the way so definitely like what? Okay.
Alright everybody, in a moment we're gonna announce the 3 winners. Alright, so I wanted to remember, we got sponsors from Poppy, Rocket Group, Domino's, and Dodge Dogtown Coffee. Those are the sponsors we have, and Rocket Group gave us $3,000 in marketing prizes. We're gonna give out, thanks to our judges, Lyon Kassab, Dan Idol, and Tony Giordano, $1,000 for each winner. We're gonna announce the 3rd winner of the competition of Sharks Valley. Our 3rd winner is Re-Lev.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that you guys like my company, and I will be more than happy to discuss it further with you guys. Thank you, everyone.
Hi, I'm up here. Sorry. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you. We're almost there. With the button.
We're gonna announce our 2nd winner. Veru.
everyone, and like of course all the judges, and we really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, all the judges. You have invested your time to see some community college students showing their visions and their work. I really appreciate all of your time. I know you guys are really big people now. I mean, we are aiming to go in your places where you guys are now. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Okay. One, two, oh, sorry. One, two. Can we get the winners holding it, please? Thank you so much. In the middle. One, two, three. One more. One, two, three. Thank you.
Congrats again. And our winner of Sharks Valley second edition with Venture Innovation Lab, our final winner, first place, is Qikr AI.
Yeah, I want to thank everybody for showing up, and special thanks to Stan and the Entrepreneurship Club for putting this event together. They did an amazing job. Yeah, appreciate you guys. Good job.
Three, two, one. One more. Three, two, one. Thank you.
Can we have the judges come here and all the winners?
Can everybody like scream? I'll take a video. Good video. 1, 2, 3, let's go.
Can we get the winners and the judges in the middle, please?
There you go.
Wonderful.
Do the kneel down.
Okay. I like it. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much.
Everybody, you guys can take the pizzas, the coffee, the puppy drinks. You can connect, network, and we'll see you in
I just want to thank you guys all coming in here. And also I want to give a big thank you to the board members who put all this together. And also one thank you for Santa Monica College for the support that you gave us. Thank you guys.